editor. Good morning this morning.
Good morning, McGraw.
Let's talk Burnt with...
Yes, let's talk Burnt. Let's talk about how disappointing that movie is.
Really?
No! Yes. With Bradley Cooper and molecular gastronomy, you think it's a home run. We love our molecular gastronomy.
Yes.
We love things all cooking. We are a foodie nation. We are also a nation that loves our handsome leading men. So it seems like a home run, if you will. But alas, it is not. It is, at best, a pass ball, and maybe the guy took first base. I don't know, but what I will say is that Bradley Cooper plays a character who is just simply not likable. I mean, he's a superstar Michelin, a two-star Michelin chef who destroys people's lives. We don't see that part. We only hear about it. And he wants to make a comeback. So 4 or 5 years later, he travels to England, where a lot of people he once knew, whose lives he literally destroyed, are working. And he convinces them to come work for him and start a new restaurant, which makes very little sense to me. A lot of the movie doesn't make sense. There are entertaining moments, though. I think they do a great job shooting the food, although I've heard from some people that they didn't get it right. I don't care. It looked great to me. But overall, the story's not that compelling, and it's really not believable, and you just don't care about Bradley Cooper's character. So 2.5 out of 5 stars.
It's really hard to find a couple of hits and a couple of home runs these days. What about Sandra Bullock and Our Brand is Crisis?
Well, if Hollywood producers shortened up their swing a little bit, maybe. Our Brand is Crisis is based on a documentary that came out in 2005 about a bunch of American political consultants who went down to Bolivia to help with the presidential election. And Sandra Bullock plays a character that's not dissimilar to Bradley Cooper's character in the sense that she was also at the top of her game, and she also had a downward spiral. She has been healing herself in a valley somewhere, throwing pottery when some former colleagues come along and try to convince her to participate in this election, and she's not going to until she finds out that her former nemesis, Pat Candy, played by Billy Bob Thornton, is involved with one of the other candidates, and she's never beaten him, and she wants to beat him. And what we have is a gross misuse of Sandra Bullock's talents, and a movie that doesn't know what it wants to be, and this one's also disappointing. Again, there are a few entertaining moments, but really not enough. 2 out of 5 stars.
All right, let's get to the important thing. How are Met fans feeling in New York this weekend?
Well, I have a request on behalf of all Mets fans.
Yes.
McGraw, stop going to the game.
you and my sisters.
They're losing, and I think it might be because you're there.
I think so, too. It's a jinx.
For the good of our team, stop going.
My sister said the same thing. She's like, "You're terrible. Go home."
Yes.
Yes. Your sister is right. And we did not discuss this. I don't know your sister. It's because it's common knowledge. When something is obvious, it's obvious. So I am so glad. I was so scared that I would make this call this morning and you would be speaking to me remotely from New York. I had that dread. But now that I know that you are safe and far away from our beloved team, I take great comfort in that. You'll love this. Last night, I was hanging out with my old college friend, Mark, who is the video coordinator for the Royals. So, of course, he was in town. My skin was itching a little bit because he's the enemy now. But Mark is a great guy, and this is the funny nature of sports fandom. And, because I'm an adult 43-year-old man, and here I know this guy, great guy, friend of mine, know him for years. He's friends with most of the guys on the Royals. They actually pay him. They're responsible for his livelihood. The Mets don't pay me. I pay them. I don't know anyone on that team, but I'm not going to root for my friend Mark. I'm going to root for the Mets, of course. But he told me some fascinating stuff, especially about that power outage in Game 1, because, all the guys are coming back to him, because they want to see their at-bats.
Right.
They want to see the pitchers want to see their pitching sequence. They want to get some tape of the guys they're going to face, and he could not offer them anything. So he told me that every time something technically goes wrong, everybody on the team blames him. they think he's not doing his job, which was pretty. He had a great sense of humor about it, of course, and he's a great guy. But it was really interesting to get some of that inside information. I told him, "Can you please slip the pitching staff some tape that shows that Cespedes cannot hit low fastballs?"
Ladies and gentlemen, that is David Blaustein, who is right along with the rest of New York in gripping anticipation of Game 3 tonight in the World Series. All right. You heard it here first. Joe Namath right here on the Big 550 KTS. All right, David. Thanks, buddy.
Later.
825 Window World Windows. They're all over the state. They're in Kansas City. They're in Columbus.